What's up, everybody? I told you I was going to get you the week 8 predictions for the NFL and some college games, some other little things that might be good to throw in here and there. Going to start trying to do this for y'all, but I got this week 8's done, and so let me go over what we got, all right? So this is my little book we got going on. So up in the corner right here, you can see I got what ESPN has what all their analysts have rated the win percentage for all the games. Anything rated like right here in green, I think that is a crap percentage. We'll go over what's going on. These blue lines, blue highlighted, are pretty much sure thing wins. The orange ones are all ones that I think are kind of more tight games. You're going to be sitting on the edge of your seat. I got the money line right here. I got our the spread right here, as long with all the payouts and the over and under, which I hardly ever bet. I think it's just not a bet that I usually know of or spend much time thinking about. There's a lot more money to be made elsewhere. Right here, off the jump, Seahawks-Falcons game. The Seahawks been playing great. One of the better teams right now in the NFL playing. I've done well to bet on them, and the Falcons have done just the opposite. Haven't quite found the rhythm. The odds don't show it there, but also you got a couple key injuries in this game. While you do have two safeties and a defensive end out for the Seahawks, they still have Clowney, and their defense is still going to be stout. The Falcons haven't even gotten anything going on offense yet, and they have Ito Smith, who's out, and they also have Matt Ryan, who's questionable. So without a doubt, without Matty Ice, they're not even going to be in contention. But even with him, Matty Ice is just that ice cold. Moving on to the Redskins and Vikings. If you paid attention to any of football this whole year, you know that the Redskins suck. Dalvin Cook has been taking this team on, putting his team on their back, as well as the Vikings have been heating up here lately in the last 2 weeks. Moving on, the next game, Broncos and Colts. Everybody was worried at the beginning of the year with Andrew Luck announcing his retirement. Jacoby Brissett has really stepped in and really filled a lot of holes in their offense. Anyway, he's kept the train going. Lost my train of thought there. He's kept their offense rolling. Broncos struggling this year. As you can see in the odds, that's a pretty sure win. Lions and Giants. The Lions do get Saquon Barkley back, but the Giants to get Saquon Barkley back, but the Giants still suck. So the Lions and Stafford, he's known for coming back, has been playing decently well. Still makes that a sure game for me in my mind. Going up further down the list, we have the Bears and the Chargers. Now, as you know, last week the Chargers cost me big for the second time this year. Phillip Rivers sucks. Melvin Gordon proved that he doesn't deserve the contract that he was holding out for. Austin Eckler is a freaking beast. Hunter Henry proves that he still has what it takes coming off of injury and having a big game. Also, key injuries on this is. They're missing their Los Angeles is missing one of their guards, and they're still missing Ingram and Justin Jones, who are both their defensive tackle and defensive end for the Chargers. Chargers just missing a whole lot of people on defense. As you could tell, the Titans were just able to move the ball at will basically on them. So I think the Bears are going to get this one. Trubisky played well against the Saints last week. But as you know, I mean, it's Phillip Rivers. He likes to screw bets up. So, I mean, by all means, Eckler might come out and just have a opening week type game and get 5 touchdowns and screw this parlay up for you. But I think that the Bears is a pretty good pick. Then moving on next, we have the Rams and the Bengals. The Bengals look good starting out against the Seahawks. They had a good game right there, but they had a good game, but still really haven't done anything since then. The Rams, up and down, all around. So that's their little motto, but they're still a head and shoulders beyond the Bengals right now. That's an easy money in the bank. Titans and Buccaneers. This is a good game. This is going to be a good game. While the Titans looked really well against the Chargers last week, the Bucs haven't been playing too bad. Also, Tennessee has some key injuries. They have 3 defensive people out, 2 linebackers and a cornerback, with another cornerback being questionable. So with all these injuries on defense, it'll open up for the Buccaneers to be a little bit more offensive, be able to get something to get going on the offense. Still think the Titans pull it out here just from watching them. Derrick Henry was just a hoss. He was getting after it. They were able to complete stuff across the field. I can't remember that little receiver's name, but he was eating my lunch and making me worried about my bet all last week. They wound up pulling off the victory. Defense looked good. Going on to the Eagles and the Bills. The Eagles got ransacked by the Cowboys. Carson Wentz once again proves that he shouldn't have been the man in Philly. They're playing against the Bills now. The only thing I got against the Bills is that they play terrible against the Dolphins. Other than that, Frank Gore showed that he's been able to still be in the league at 108. So I still like the Bills in that one. Going on, we have the Panthers and 49ers. Now, the Panthers lucked up. Cam Newton got hurt, and Kyle Allen is a winning quarterback coming behind them, coming off a big win last week. That's kind of scary. Christian McCaffrey, he basically said that I'll win your whole fantasy league for you if you drafted me. So that's pretty much the Panthers in a wrap. The 49ers been looking good, been surprising me at least of how well they've done with a 6-0 start. They do have just Kuzik out, Staley, the offensive lineman's out, and Deebo Samuel, the receiver's out. So a little bit of offensive weapons there gone, but if I'm not mistaken, they've been out for a second, and they've been able to they still got Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida. I can't remember. They still got Matt Breida, and they still got a bunch of backs that are still going. If Jimmy G plays well, then they should win that game. Raiders and Texans. Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller have been doing good, but the Texans have started to kind of pick it up. They struggled a little bit early on. That's still going to go to the Texans. Packers and Chiefs. The Packers and the Chiefs. The big news on from Week 8 is Mahomes is down. Mahomes is knee. Mahomes is out. Watkins is out. But also, let's not forget, for the Packers, Devontae Adams is out. It's a big threat that makes them throw to injury-prone Geronimo Allison and Valdez-Scantling. And so that's gonna slow them down at least a step. While they are favored to win from Vegas, ESPN still has the Chiefs on top. Some interesting facts about the backup, Matt Moore. Last year he came in. After last week he came in after Pat Mahomes and went 10 for 19 with 117 yards as well as a 57-yard TD to Tyreek Hill, who's got some reps with him, working his way back from injury on the practice squad. Interesting facts also is that he hadn't played since 2017, but has still got 10 days till the game. Andy Reid was still talking highly of him, said that he's got ice water in his veins, and was talking about just pick the play and we're gonna roll, coach. So he'll definitely be tested, but I still think the Chiefs with all their weapons. They got Kelsey, they got Damian Williams, they got all these people that are Tyreek Hill's back. They got just a ton of people on the offensive side that can move the ball. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could go out there and throw it left-handed and make some touchdowns happen. They got Pringle. They got McCole Hardman. I mean, they're just loaded. It'd be hard not to throw the ball and hit somebody with some talent. I think they could definitely walk away with that game. Dolphins and Steelers. Both teams been sucking. The Dolphins, I don't even know if they're attempting to play anymore. The Steelers don't look a whole lot better. I don't like the ESPN. I don't think it's 90 to 190 to 10 odds basically. The Dolphins did look good against the Bills this past week, and the Steelers are coming off a bye week. They haven't found a receiver to step up and take some heat off of Juju Smith-Schuster, and everybody's been able to double him up and then stack the box for James Conner, allowing the run game to be at a halt. Pats, Browns. Browns haven't put it together. Like I said earlier in the year, they're not a winning team. It's a bunch of egos on that team. They don't have a winning mentality together yet. They haven't found out how to win. And it's been just that. It's been a lot of letdown from them. If you're a Browns fan, Pats have been doing what they do against a well-executing team, and the Browns that are the opposite of that. Pats walk away with that one. Jets, Jaguars. The Jets have got stomped tonight against the Patriots. They're playing against the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew's been on a roll. Dede Westbrook and him seem to have a connection. Leonard Fournette's been doing well. Jaguars get this one easy. Cardinals and Saints. Teddy Bridgewater coming out, going undefeated. That man's a hoss. Put some respect on his name. Saints defense looking incredible. He's been doing work. Saints are definitely going to get that one. Kyler Murray, not quite putting it together. Kind of been looking exactly how Matthew Stafford does. Doesn't really play an exceptional game until the end, and then starts to kind of get things going. That's just been what my opinion of him since he started this year. Don't see a whole lot more changing in that game. Saints walk away with that one. All right, so I got the blue. Like I said, I got blue is the short games in my opinion. Orange are the ones that you're gonna be watching. It's gonna be close game. They can bust that parlay for you. The green is the percentages that I don't like for ESPN, and these purples. The purple lines are the ones that I'm not gonna bet on. As I usually bet through Bovada, and Bovada doesn't have. I only let you do 12-team parlays. These three would be the ones that I would take off, unfortunately, for that. What that means is having this negative here and having this negative here doesn't really add much to add much in the odds and the payout of the surety of these blue games. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to kind of combine the blue and the orange. With the blue, we're looking at a 10-team parlay, and you're looking at for $100 getting 1,048. If you were to bet on all of the red, all of the orange right here, and just have the gutsy, or do what I was talking about earlier, doing two separate parlays of the sure games and the toss ups, you would have 1,700 to $100 bet, and a $1,048 to $100 bet. I think that winds up being like 2,900 or something like that, right at 3,000 if you combine them. But like I said, there's a lot of games right here that could bust those. I wouldn't do a 15-team thing if you just wanted to do, but that is only a 5-team parlay, so you're getting a little bit more money, and you're still betting on favorites for the most part, minus the Chiefs. So I mean, you can make money on those. This is going to be nail biters. Definitely going to be paying attention. These purple dots that I have right here on this right side are if the team that's not the favorite but on the nail biter wins. If you were to bet on all those, so that would be the 4 upsets. But I mean, possible upsets. That's Aaron Rodgers and Eckler playing good. That's the Bucks going through the hurt Titans defense. The Eagles putting it together a little bit better than the Dolphins did, and stopping the 108-year-old Gore. But Devin Singletary is back now. He didn't do much. And then the Panthers with Kyle Allen doing well, and Christian McCaffrey beating Jimmy G. And then the Packers being the favorite here, just doing what they do and shutting down Matt Moore. If you were to bet all of those, the purple dots, you get it's $10,000, $300 for the $100 bet. So that would be cash money. And then I just did this for fun. If you did all 15s, if you found a place to do all 15 bets, you might be able to sneak it in on Bovada. I'm not saying that you couldn't. But if you did all 15 games and you did all of the ones that I picked right here, then you have a $20,600 to $100 pay. You got a $20,600 payout to a $100 bet. If you do all of the blue, and then you get these upsets as well, so you get this one and you get the top one, it is $119,400, or basically $119.5 thousand bet payout to $100. I don't think that's going to happen, but boy, would it be tight if it did. You'll be feeling good. So, like I said, I'm probably going to bet on the blue. Games, and then might do a separate one on these oranges. Some interesting games that in college and whatnot that I've thought about. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we got Wisconsin and Ohio State. Ohio State coming in at number 3. Wisconsin's now number 11, I believe. So you got plus 430 for Wisconsin over Ohio State, minus 660. It's a 14-point spread in Ohio, 15-point spread in Ohio State's favor. You might be thinking, man, Wisconsin just lost to Illinois. Why would you think they're going to beat Ohio State? Okay, so this is Ohio State's impressive victories. Michigan State, who was number 25, 34-10. That's guess what? Wisconsin also beat Michigan State 38-10. Also, they beat Michigan, who was number 11, 35-14. So 2 impressive wins over 1 impressive win and 1 embarrassing loss. So that plus 430 would definitely add. If you're looking for an upset to increase the odds of those blue games. That would definitely be a game that would definitely boost your payout by a substantial amount if Wisconsin pulls off the upset. I'm going to go to the team that upset Wisconsin, Illinois over Purdue. Okay, Purdue and Illinois. We got Illinois is the underdog here. But look, for that payout, for this basically $2.25 for every dollar you bet, is only an 8-point spread. So it doesn't make sense to bet on Purdue right here. These are the impressive wins that Purdue has. 26-20 over Iowa. That's a ranked team. 26-20 loss to Iowa. That's a ranked team. Penn State 35-7, and those are 2 impressive, or not impressive because you lost, but I mean those are good teams. And the games are pretty reasonable. But you did lose to Nevada 34-31 in the season opener, so that's kind of embarrassing. Then you got Illinois with the upset over the number 16 Wisconsin, 24-23. You got a loss to Nebraska, who's good, 42-38. That's a close game. So they definitely show that they're in contention. I would definitely put them within that 8 points. And I could see them pulling off that upset. So that once again would be another good bet to kind of boost those blue numbers up if you wanted to do that. Then you have Oklahoma State and Iowa State. Iowa State's ranked. I can't remember what their rank is, but then you have they're playing against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's played some good teams. and has hung in with some good teams. And so let's see kind of what their schedule's been like. It's a 10.5-point spread. Iowa State had lost to Baylor 23-21. Oklahoma State lost 45-27. But score looks a little bit worse than the game did. They kind of took off in the late in the second half. Baylor did. But they got a 36-30 loss to Texas. That's pretty good. I mean, they're hanging in with a team that was a top-ranked team earlier in the year. Texas Tech, they also stayed in 45-35 loss. Stayed right there in it. And Iowa State got the 24 win over Texas Tech. So this is a little bit more of a stretch, but a little bit more of a payout than the Illinois game. I'd say probably Illinois is the safest of these college bets. Then I'd probably go Wisconsin, then Oklahoma. I'd probably go Oklahoma State, then Wisconsin, just because Ohio State should walk off with it. Wisconsin is definitely still in that talk, especially if they come out with a chip on their shoulder. The only thing that worries me about Ohio State is that they do look like a pretty complete team whenever they play. So while they haven't played anybody to kind of really go against some adversity, they've kind of taken care of business. So we'll see this week. Also in baseball, the Nationals and the Astros. Everybody's sleeping on the Nationals, in my opinion. Watched them play; they performed well. The Astros been clutch. They're definitely in the heat of their franchise, in the heat of their moment. They're favorites to win. That plus 167 would definitely bounce up the blue team bet, and it'd be probably the most reasonable out of all three of these is the Nationals winning the game on, I believe that's Tuesday, on the 22nd. And so, yeah, that's tomorrow. And so you'd have to get that blue bet in quick, as well as this Nationals game if you wanted to bet on it. But if you look over here, boom, the series, for them to win the series is plus 175. I still think that's a good bet. I think that's still within reach. While you'd have to wait a little bit longer to watch that come to fruition, and you'd have to have them repetitively beat the Astros, so a little bit more of a stretch than just winning tomorrow night. I would say that the Astros did lose one of their best relief pitchers in the game against the Yankees, so that does make me feel more confident about that. But those are some of the games that I think will happen, what I think will happen. And one more look at the NFL and what the parlay that I think would be, as well as the payouts up top. So I hope you guys take this. Go to Bovado, go make some money. If you need to if you want to do a mix or match of any of these, Vegas Insider has a parlay odds calculator. You just go and it's gonna tell you to type in 100 for your bet up at the top, and then it'll let you do an 18 parlay for like the calculator purposes. And so you would just do plus or minus for the odds that you wanted to create in there. So if you wanted to do all the blue, you would put plus 1048, and then if you wanted to say you wanted the Bears, you'd put plus 175, and you wanted the Titans, you'd do minus 140. It will multiply all those decimal points by each other, and then it will come up with your payout in the bottom. Pretty easy to read. So just let me know if you got any questions. I hope you guys do good. Hope you guys make some money. All right, man. Peace.